I've hit SSL 12 times, and I can tell you firsthand, most people are improving the wrong way. They spend hours grinding mechanics, but never rank up. That's why I made this video. The only Rocket League guide you'll ever need. Whether you're stuck in Gold, Champ, or even Grand Champ, I'll show you exactly what helps you improve and rank up the fast way. I'm going to break everything down from positioning to decision making to mechanics to even your mindset about going about the game. So by the end of this video, you'll have a complete roadmap to ranking up with no wasted time. Most people think they're stuck because they need better mechanics or better reaction time. But the truth is, the reason you're not ranking up has absolutely nothing to do with that. The real problem, you're playing the game wrong. The average player queues ranked aimlessly, plays the same way every game, and then blames bad teammates when they lose. And if you're not ranking up, it's not because of bad luck. It's not because of your solo queue teammates. It's simply because you aren't learning from your mistakes. And if you keep making the same bad challenges, the same bad rotations, or even the same bad mechanical mistakes, you can play for hundreds of hours and still not rank up. The fix? You need to start playing with intent. Before you queue a single game, ask yourself, what am I working on this session? Am I working on better positioning? Am I working on faster recoveries? Also ask yourself, what mistakes keep getting me scored on? Am I actually improving, or am I just repeating the same habits? Instead of autopiloting through games, start actively thinking about your decisions while you play. If you notice that you're always out of position, start asking yourself, where should I be right now? Instead of just chasing the ball. And if you keep getting beaten to the ball, don't just get frustrated. Ask yourself, am I too slow? Or am I just challenging at the incorrect time? And this kind of self-awareness is what separates players who improve quickly from players who just stay hard stuck for months. If you start playing with purpose instead of just grinding on autopilot mode, you will rank up faster than 90% of players. But decision making isn't just about self-awareness. It's about knowing what not to do. Most players don't even realize how many bad habits they have because they're too focused on the ball and not focused on what they're actually doing. One of the most common mistakes is players challenging without thinking. And if you just dive into every challenge blindly, you're probably giving away free goals and taking yourself out of the play. Here's how to instantly fix it. Ask yourself 3 questions. Number 1, before challenging, ask yourself, what happens if I lose this 50-50? If the answer is we get scored on, then you probably shouldn't be challenging. Instead of diving in, position yourself smartly so you can react to the play at any given time. And a bad challenge doesn't just mean you lose possession, it means you're completely out of the play while your other team scores. A lot of players lose games not because of their bad mechanics, but because they're never in the right place at the right time. Here's how to instantly improve your rotation. Number 1, stop cutting off your teammates. If someone's up for the ball, don't rush in and just double commit. Number 2, use wide rotations. Instead of driving straight back to net, take a wider path. That way you can keep momentum going. And number 3, don't sit too far back. Being last man doesn't mean sitting in your net. Stay close enough to react, but far enough to actually cover mistakes from your teammates. Dice from the future here, if you want to speedrun ranking up and skip all the boring stuff like watching replays and trying to find the best drills for you, I just launched a new program where I coach you for an entire month straight and you get 24/7 access to me so you can ask me any questions you want and you'll rank up faster than ever before. Let's get back to the video. Another huge issue is that a lot of players just hit the ball because it's in front of them, instead of actually thinking about their next move. If you're just booming the ball away every time you touch it, you're literally just handing possession to the opponents for completely free. Before every touch, I want you to ask yourself questions like, where do I actually want to put this ball? Can I keep possession instead of just clearing it? Is this the best play for my team? Even something as simple as a controlled touch instead of a mindless hit can completely change how the entire game plays out. If you fix these 3 mistakes, you will immediately start winning more games, even if you don't improve your mechanics one bit. But even with better decision making, there's still one more thing that determines whether you win or lose games, and that's how you position yourself. Positioning is one of the biggest rank deciders in Rocket League. You can have perfect mechanics, but if you're never in the right spot, you won't be able to use them. Bad positioning leads to missed challenges, weak challenges, and just easy goals for the opponents. And a lot of players ball chase without even realizing they're doing it. They see the ball and just go for it instead of thinking about where they actually need to be. Here's how to fix this instantly. Instead of reacting to the ball, predict where it's going next. If a teammate's about to hit the ball, position yourself where you can follow up. And if the opponent has the ball, don't just dive in. Position yourself where you can challenge smartly. And the best players in Rocket League aren't better because they have more mechanics. They're faster because they're already in position before the play even happens. And if you want to be in position like the pros, you have to learn rotations. Good rotations are what prevents double commits and keeps your team structured. The first thing to do is use wide rotations. The second thing to do is just don't overcommit. And I know that sounds easier said than done, but if your teammate is going for a ball, you can just sit back and wait for that play to pan out. And the third thing that's probably the hardest on this list is trusting your solo queue teammates. If your teammate's already challenging the ball and you go up with them, you're just double committing for no reason. Even if you think they're going to miss the ball, just wait for them to miss the ball and pick up the next possession. And if you constantly find yourself out of position, awkward, or just missing open nets, your rotation is the problem. A grand champ with no mechanics will completely destroy a diamond with insane mechanics. And that's just because they're in the right place at the right time. So instead of focusing on insane mechanics in free play, you should focus on being in the right place at the right time. And if you're spending hours and hours grinding flip resets, ceiling shots, or even double taps, but you still miss open nets or lose challenges, you're focusing on the wrong stuff. So let's break down which mechanics are actually useful and which ones are a complete waste of time. If you're under GC, these are the only mechanics you need to get GC and even SSL, my current rank. Number 1, fast aerials. You need to be able to reach the ball really quickly without wasting time. That's a given. Number 2, consistent recoveries. If you land awkwardly after every play, you're taking yourself out of the game. Powerful, controlled touches. Instead of just hitting the ball randomly, learn how to control your shots and your clears. And solid 50s. A strong challenge can win games, but a bad one can lose them just as much. Now onto the useless mechanics. Number 1, flip resets. If you're under GC and you're trying to hit flip resets, they look cool, but they really aren't going to do much for you if you can't even consistently shoot open nets or air dribble. Number 2, ceiling shots. I'm SSL and I've scored under 10 ceiling shots in probably my entire climb from Grand Champ to SSL. Ceiling shots, really fun, but they're just for looks. You're not going to see many people using them in game unless they're turning them into a legit freestyle mechanic like a ceiling shot musty double, but they're really not that useful if we're trying to be practical for ranking up as fast as possible. And musty flicks. Again, we do not need to be trying to learn freestyle mechanics if we can't even shoot open nets. To sum it up, Rocket League isn't just about mechanics or speed. It's about how you think of the game. If you start focusing on smart decision making, good positioning, and essential mechanics, you will rank up faster than ever before.